Today, companies have these processes that have been in place for years, and humans are just naturally resistant to change. So if it's working relatively well, or if folks think the processes are working relatively well for them, they don't really see a burning need to change them today. The perception is, to create an automated process or implement a new tool, I think that perception is it's going to cost a lot of money or take a lot of time to do that, so folks are resistant to make that change. The reality is it really doesn't have to. I know, if you've been in the industry a while, you may have experience implementing ERP solutions or maybe ERP modules, and in a lot of those cases, those did take a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of resources. But the reality is today there's much better tools available, especially for supplier collaboration, and a lot of these are cloud-based tools that can be implemented much more quickly, much more simply. They take a lot less resources, on your side to do the implementation. So the perception is there, but I think the reality is if you choose a good partner, choose a good tool, you can implement it quite quickly without a lot of resources and time. There is a perception out there generally that these types of automation solutions are going to cost a lot of money, and the reality is they really don't. The flip side of that is, instead of looking at what's a solution going to cost to implement a new solution, you can look at what's it going to cost me to not implement a new solution. What does my current solution cost me today? If you've got inefficiencies or you've got errors, inaccuracy, maybe lack of visibility, you've got to take a look at what is it really costing you today to be operating your processes in a manual way, maybe an inefficient way. And often that'll drive you to make that decision as you just realize that you can't continue with the way you're currently operating. And often the job of that person will change from just executing transactions and pushing documents back and forth to more managing by exception. They're getting alerted when things are outside of parameters, and they're doing higher value added work as far as monitoring the process and handling exceptions. And in a lot of cases, those workers end up enjoying their jobs a lot more. Their job satisfaction is higher, they like their work more when they make a successful transition, and the company benefits as well. The company wins because they've got happy, productive workers, and the processes are automated, and they're getting much higher value added work done instead of just paying people to push transactions back and forth. Companies are concerned about having the flexibility to configure and maintain their existing business processes in a new automated solution. Companies are concerned about, how flexible or easy is it going to be if I have new requirements to actually change those business processes in the new tool or the new automated process going forward. People are also concerned about, once I do implement it and I stabilize it, what happens as far as the ongoing maintenance of this new process or tool, and how much time and effort is it going to take for me to onboard additional suppliers, to train additional suppliers. If I have internal turnover, new staff, how am I going to keep up with training and onboarding my internal staff as well? So those are common concerns, and I think depending on who you're working with, the tool you select, what kind of flexibility is built in the tool, as well as just the services that your solution provider can help you with. A lot of these things can be addressed. There's solution providers out there that can help you with ongoing maintenance, support, training, and other aspects of those concerns. One of the main ones revolves around being able to actually measure and improve your supplier performance. I think companies that are executing these things very manual, it's hard to get to your data. It's hard to know how well your process is performing, how well your suppliers are performing. It's hard to put together metrics or dashboards or KPIs to measure that. And companies that implement more of an automated solution, they're often surprised that, one, they can get to the data and easily measure and create that data, and they can use that data to dramatically improve the supplier performance. So once your supplier performance is improved, and that improvement usually means there's a lot less variability and more predictability in the inbound shipments, that has a lot of benefits to you. If you can accurately predict when things are going to arrive, the right quantity, the right date, not early, not late, etc., you end up with benefits like a lot lower expedited transportation charges. You're not reacting to late shipments and having to expedite freight. Your production line, downtime may be reduced because of that improved consistency. Things like reduced inventory. If you've got much more predictable inbound supply, you don't need to hold as much safety stock, so you can actually reduce your inventory balances as well. And I think on the accounts payable side, if you've automated your accounts payable processes, companies are often surprised at how much they can actually save if they do take advantage of those early payment discounts that their suppliers are offering. If you've got a very efficient automated process, you don't have any worries or any problem executing that invoice payment quickly, matching it quickly, and getting all of those early pay discounts. There's very few circumstances where it would actually make sense for a company to not automate those processes. Again, you've got to look at the cost and the benefit and the amount of effort, but again, today with the tools that are available, especially cloud-based tools, you can implement these types of solutions relatively quickly, relatively inexpensively, and the benefits are undeniable. There's a lot of research out there, and we've got data from existing customers as well. You'd be hard-pressed to find a case where it doesn't make sense to automate, given a low-cost, rapid ROI kind of a solution that's cloud-based.